Hello and welcome back to Wario Land 4, and I hope you're sapphire caverned up for more of this game that we're going to be finishing the sapphire passage because we started it last time, and these are really the last levels we have left. I mean, I couldn't even goof on you and be like, we're gonna go back to the Emerald Passage, and well, I guess I could be like, hey, we're gonna go back to the Emerald Passage and do that again, but it wouldn't make much sense. There's not really much reason to do that, so we are instead going to make progress instead of just fruitlessly replaying levels, and I just dunked myself in lava and lost our spoils, which I had never considered. If the spoils fall into the lava, they disintegrate. I guess they fall off of the plane. But this being Wario Land 4, there's no instant death pit, so Wario doesn't actually just die. But the money does die, so that's actually an interesting way to ramp up challenge, in which that the money dies because it fell into the thing, and the money just kind of gets despawned by either falling off the map in some degree or just the idea being it melting. Who knows? Who knew what the intent was there? But it's time to talk about the real problem with the Sapphire Passage. Last time I mentioned a problem with Arabian Night not particularly fitting into the Sapphire Passage, and once again, limited worldview, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure you guys have already let me know in the comments, but I'm recording this ahead of time. But the fiery cavern doesn't really fit spooktacular times at all in any way. Now, there is an internet fan theory, God bless the internet once more, on why it fits. I don't particularly subscribe to that theory, and we'll talk about it in a moment, and a hot second even. But for now, let's enjoy the Fiery Cavern, because I do like this level, despite its theming. And that's actually a double entendre there, because, the theming problems it has with, in regards to the fullness of the Sapphire Passage, but also in terms of Wario. So there were a lot of fiery cave levels in Wario Land 3. There was oh my god, I should have counted before we started doing this, but there was at least 4? I'm gonna go ahead and bank and say 4, that there were 4 fiery cave levels. I know one was like the Volcano's Base, and the Volcano's Base isn't particularly like Volcano-y, kind of ironically, to be honest. Oh my god, I didn't realize the fire jets, the lava plume, that's what you would call that. I didn't realize the lava plume would stretch out past the block. For some reason I thought I was safe. I should have waited and observed instead of just jumping in front of fire, because we're starting to lose a lot of health here, and I would like to keep my spoils and not let them fall into lava in the future. Oops, and that got the better of me in a big way. Yes, there were a lot of fiery cave levels in Wario Land 3, and I'm kind of sad that there, a fiery cave level happened in Wario Land 4 as well, especially in a place where it doesn't entirely make sense. But I do like this level, and it has a neat gimmick that we'll be talking about once again in a hot second. I've already used that one, but I think it's very interesting. And we see these weird EWOW enemies. They're like IWAO. Once again, no idea how to say that. But they're those like rock throwing guys, and they're only in this level, and those rocks don't make you become flat Wario. They just hit you and hurt you. It seems kind of weird, but maybe they wanted to deal damage to you, and let's hope I timed this right. Cool, we did not get hit by a lava plume. No rogue lava plumes ruined our day. But there is something down here, and I'm not sure if this is just an area to return to. Yep, it's definitely just an area to return to if you fall down here, and I'm so tempted to go over there and find out what's over there, but I don't want to risk getting hurt anymore. I'm sure that there's nothing. I doubt the developers would make it so where, hey, you have to jump to this area that you'd not reasonably want to jump to under normal circumstances. And for some reason, I thought I could jump over that guy. Luckily, we were able to recover that hurt immediately. That's something I hated in old NES games, where it was like, oh, hey, you jump in this pit and it takes you to the next area, but it's indecipherable from normal instant death pits. I always hated those kinds of things. And I'm going to trust Wario Land 4 to not do me like that, because this game's really well designed. Normally, I feel like there's probably something I've complained about in this game, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I mean, I was complaining about the theming, but, in terms of game design. Now, it is time for this level to get really cool, because with the post-fold, this level gets cool. And I know Fire and Ice, it's been done before. It's not completely unique, but I feel it's more tried and true than, oh, Fire and Ice lame. It's not like Fire and Ice is always done. I mean, you got your Zeldas that do it, You got your Banjo-Kazooies, and I'm gonna go check out what's in the store before we go all the way down there. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of fire and ice levels. It's fun theming, and it's always nice to get that juxtaposition of, fiery, hot hurt pits, and then all of a sudden slip sliding away. And it's also nice that the game gets to utilize its ice mechanics, even though, like, most people are, not big fans of ice puzzles. I'm not going to say that I am either. I do like ice sliding puzzles because that's the kind of horrible human being I am. Typically in platforming games, sliding on ice is just kind of lame and bad. But, it's not too obnoxious in this game because the platforming... this is where we just were. This is just like an alternate way we could come to have gotten more gems. And we are missing the Keyser, we are missing a jewel piece, and we are missing a compact disc. We are also hurting for money. I guess we're not hurting for money as much as we just need it more. So I don't know. I'm a fan of the Fiery Cavern. I wish the name wasn't just Fiery Cavern, though. I wish the name denotated the icy part in some way without giving it away. I don't know how you would do that. In fact, I'm kind of interested in what the name of this level is in Japanese. If it's anything interesting, I'll edit it in somehow right now. But I mentioned an internet fan theory of how this fits into the Sapphire Passage. And the reason the internet has come up with is when hell freezes over, and I guess hell is, and hell's spooky, I suppose. I don't think that's what they were going for, and typically when you would imagine a hell, I don't think, you think fire, sure, but we don't think cave system. I don't think like, oh, it's a volcano. I guess that could be an interesting way to flavor it. Maybe in some mythologies it is. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know things. We know this. We know I don't know things, and I'm doing very bad at dealing with this Yeti here. And I looked it up. These enemies are just straight up called Yetis. I was not incorrect about that, unless I never said that out loud, and I might have just questioned it in my head. Who knows? Who really knows at this point? It's been a little while since I recorded. It took like a week off because I was sick. But that aside, I would like to jump for that diamond. I think this level's fun. I always enjoy a fiery and icy thing. We are still sans a compact disc. That is a little... Oh, we're also sans a jewel piece. That had a bit of a delayed reaction to me for me to recognize because I was paying so much attention to the compact disc. But that'll be fine. Oh, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Cool. So this is a puzzle that we saw previously in Wario Land 3, in which there is a... in Wario Land 3, there were the Burr Bears, which I lovingly refer to as Burrs, and Bill Trennan can deal with it, that I came up with a better name than he did. But you could just slide away and get past that Yeti, who would normally just ice you, and you wouldn't be able to get past there. Now, you can also get past that Yeti if you kill the other Yeti, since these Yetis don't respawn, because they drop spoils, despite the fact they turn you into a transformation. They will not respawn because they drop spoils. I just felt the need to say that again because I wasn't sure if I made my point nicely, and oops, I killed that Yeti, so we will not be able to bounce off its head, come up here and get the diamond. That's unfortunate, but we'll live. We'll do fine. I don't think I have enough room to get enough charge up for this. Oh yeah, we do. Cool. Yeah, those crystals are kind of difficult to get to. I'm not sure if you need to use a running jump, but I just went ahead and did it. Oops, I got clipped by the crystal because there's not a lot of vertical leeway with the camera, so sometimes things kind of surprise you, which is why the majority of this game is horizontal, thanks to the Game Boy Advance's resolution, making it easier to display things and horizontally than they would be vertically. But you can get by that Yeti, even if you kill the other Yeti, you can't slide away past it by just having clever dodges. I feel like there's something else I was going to say, but it's kind of... It's gone from my brain, so I apologize. Let's get a move on, because we're right at the end of the level, and we're about to hit the last minute mark, and I don't know why I bothered to pause to check if we were good, because it's like we didn't have any choice. I'd already come off the thing. The lava plume had frozen, stopping us from escaping. I don't know. That's a really cool, no pun intended, but nice. It's a cool level. I like the post-fold in that, it completely overhauls the level. Those lava plumes, which were previously... obstacles now just become, gates blocking off your progress or platforms. It's fun, it's good. I like the way that the Ewoks, I had to remember what an Ewok was called. Landed the goof, nice. The Ewoks become Yetis, etc., etc. It's a fun, cool level, even if I don't, once again, not intended. you know, even if it doesn't entirely fit the spooky premise, unless you subscribe to, you know, hell freezing over. But I do not. What I do subscribe to is the Hotel Horror Monthly, where it just it's a newsletter I send out, and by that I mean I just email my friends once a month and say, you remember Hotel Horror? I almost said Hotel Horio, which is actually my OC Wario character, where Wario kind of dresses a bit skankily, and I like it. It's my thing. Please don't steal that. Hotel Horror is a fun, cool level, in which we're going to explore a spooky hotel. The spooky hotels are very much my thing. I love spooky things. I love the spooktacularness, and I like hotels. I think hotels are fun. They're cool, good. I always enjoy traveling and staying at hotels, because we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so staying in a hotel was always really cool for me, because normally we just slept in the car when we were on a trip. So I grew up really appreciating hotels. So I don't know, I think hotels are cool, and spooky hotels are very cool and good, and I like them. Let's go ahead and explore the second floor before we continue upwards anymore, because I feel like if we had continued the other way, that probably would have taken us, obviously further up in the hotel, but, you know, I feel like that probably would have led to the way we wanted to go. So, the post-fold gimmick of Hotel Horror are, oh, there's literally nothing to do over here aside from this door. We'll have to remember that in the post-fold. Obviously, the red doors with the frogs on them will become available to us whenever we enter the post-fold, we hit the frog switch, and then good times will happen. So, Hotel Horror, for me, is interesting in that it doesn't play like a Wario Land 4 level in terms of its game design, and that's what I was talking about with those Minnow O's in the previous episode. If you just rush at them, they'll always get the best of you. Like, that guy was, like, turned around. He kind of, like, turned on a dime and got us. So you have to be really careful about them. Same thing with the mummy guys, and there's like, nothing in this room. That's way too far for Wario to jump up, and this game doesn't have invisible blocks because this game rules. So I don't know what the deal is with that room. Maybe it's like a punishment, like we'll become Zombie Wario in a later room and fall into there. That's the only thing I can think of. But to get back to my point, the level design doesn't feel Wario Land 4-ish to me. It feels more similar to, let's check out the rest of the third floor before we go back down the second floor. It feels more similar to Wario Land 2 to me, in which it's like, you know, kind of more, I mean, it has a linear path, sure, that you should follow, like most Wario Land 2 levels, but it feels very non-linear with, like, a bunch of, like, rooms and stuff to explore. It reminds me a lot of, like, the Wario Castle levels, whether it be, like, the alternate chapter or the main one, or chapter? No, the chapters were levels. Stories? I think they were chapters broken into stories. Basically, World 1 and alternate World 1 is what I'm referring to of Wario Land 2. It's real evocative of that for me, and I don't know if that was intentional or just like you know, they were coming up with different levels and like, oh, let's have like a semi-less linear level. I don't know, it's fun, it's cool, it's good, it checks off a lot of check-off boxes for me, in which, you know, if you're shown at the beginning of the game that there's a spooky, you know, by the third act there will be a haunted hotel for sure. That's what I was going for. And oh, I actually shouldn't have done that because I don't know what's actually crack-lacking up here, but I wanted to become oh, you can't move the hat around. Oh, that's interesting. And Wario Land 3 might have been 2, maybe both of them. You can move the hat around as you fall, but you can't do that in this game. That's interesting. I didn't realize. This is just a quick way to get back to the vortex if we so desired to take it back. Granted, we have some post-fold exploring we have to do with all those locked doors, and the frog doors is supposed to be the easiest way to say that. I think we'll be gated. Cool, yeah, this is just a single room, so we made the right choice in exploring ultimately, because the other way would have led us to the frog switch room, because as you can tell by the video name, it's the frog switch is in room 404, which, you know, obviously at the end of the hallway, based on the numbering system that we have seen thus far. And let's go ahead and kill this guy, because that guy's going to be annoying. And let's get this torch enemy. This poor torch enemy. Those torch enemies die so easily, and they have such sad eyes. Luckily, we can collect the Keyser while on fire, so it's all good. We just come here, we got the Keyser, and that was nice. Now we don't have to worry about the post-fold, because that would have been a disaster had we had to come back here in the post-fold. By a disaster, I mean, what, eating up like a minute of our time. And I didn't talk about it while we're in that purple pipe puzzle room, but those weird warpy things remind me a lot of the Warped Void in Wario Land 3. It's interesting to see, like, mechanics be brought back similar to that. And I don't know if I want to hit that switch or not. I'm going to go ahead and hit that green switch, just in case like there's a puzzle later on that requires the switches to be flipped. Because I don't know this game super off the back of my hand. I'm aware of most of the levels and a lot of the secrets. As you've seen, though, over the course of this LP, there's been, you know, secrets I found and purple pipe puzzle rooms that I definitely knew how to do off the top of my head and do right previous to playing them for hopefully your entertainment. Here we go, Vampire Bat Wario. I didn't speak about it properly in the last episode, but you just tap A and you flutter and you can fly and you flutterfly. You have good control. Flutterfly being a reference to the game Pyre. It's the name of Tizo's song on the soundtrack. It's very good and cool. I love Pyre. Good game. But right now we're playing Super Pyrio Land 4, and cool. The other purple pipe puzzle room is starting to get a little nervous in that we hadn't seen it yet. We have a bunch of Hariman Zetos. So now we will kill them utilizing the power of the Yeti. And Yeti, please keep on a walk-in, because I need to slip on in here and utilize your ice breath, so we can just go ahead and slip by, kill all those guys, get their spoils. Nice, 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 and good. There's way more rooms in this game where you get your bonus from the purple pipe puzzle room by killing enemies than I remembered off the top of my head. And that might be the first time I've killed an enemy with a projectile in this game. You don't do that too terribly often in this game, and that is our last thing. We do not have the compact disc yet. I suppose we'll probably have to find that in one of those gated off frog switch rooms that we saw previously, which is nice, you know, that you're able to get all of the you're able to get every collectible you need pre-full. And I don't know why I ran back to that 10 coin, like that really mattered. You're able to get all of the required collectibles to beat the game pre-fold. So really only people who care about like doing super completionist junk will actually go out of their way to do the thing and get the stuff in the post-fold when you're panicking. The reason I'm kind of dilly-dallying in this room is I have a theory that if we get hit by that zombie, not a weird internet theory, like a good hunch, that if we were hit by that skeleton bird, we would fall into that room that I pointed out earlier that seemed relatively pointless. We don't have the time for it, because what we got time for is to instead once again complain about apple monkeys making us fat via the use of apples instead of like something truly like actually like fattening. Like, sure, enough apples with time and effort you will become a fat Wario, sure, but one apple sure as hell ain't gonna do it. Throw something fattening next time, please. Wario Land 7, don't let me down. Wario Land 7 is never gonna happen. I've accepted it in my heart of hearts. But if it ever did, Wario Land 4, please fatten us up with something more fun. Oh, this is absolutely not the room that we needed to escape. It's time to get the heck out. It's time to get the check out, because you check out of a hotel. That's definitely very cool thinking on my feet that I have done previous to this moment. Well, I guess thinking on my feet you wouldn't do previous in the moment. I more meant I have previously thought well on my feet. Not that I thought of that ahead of time. I mean, I guess I could have. I could have just sat down and thought of, let's write down cool jokes for the Wario Land 4 LP. And this isn't where we wanted to be. If we go... Oh my god, why didn't I didn't make a brain map of where all the frog rooms are. So we're going to have to we're going to go explore the hotel again. I don't think there was anything up here. I think this was more or less just this room. Yep, just this room. Cool and good. So once again, we could use Zombie Wario to just cut straight to the exit, but we're not about that life. And man, why can't I not memorize the layout of this stupid hotel? There's literally 16 rooms. That's not that much to remember. Have we seen this room? Yes, it's the weird punishment room. Cool, good. Let's go to the second floor. I guess there's only 2 frog rooms. There was the one that we saw on the first floor, and the one we saw on the second floor. I don't know why I felt the need to speak about it that way, and unfortunately, this skeleton bird got me. I got, and now we're unfortunately going to fall down here. Luckily for us, we can activate the ladder. Oop, for some reason I thought the ladders would be staggered. I forgot that these ladders were in sync, unlike the ones up here where they're a bit staggered. Oops, and I wanted to duck, but I instead ground pounded. I don't know why. My brain is starting to panic a little bit, and I started to think wrong, because I was like, oh, if I jump into the skeleton bird, or if I wait for the skeleton bird to come to me, I will untransform. And he almost got me there again. We should have plenty of time to escape the level. Luckily, the frog rooms are extra red, and I'm actually not going to kill you. Just in case we need something to throw or something to bounce off on the other side. I'm not 100% sure. That's advice that I've talked about in previous Wario Land games, where I was like, oh hey, you shouldn't just kill enemies willy-nilly, just in case you need them. But you typically don't need enemies as often in this game as you do in Wario Land 3 or previous. Oh, I missed those crystals, but that's fine. In like Wario Land 2 or 3, you don't need them as regularly for things. Like there was the Yeti we saw in the previous level, and there are probably other things, but my brain isn't working great. And oh, those levels are the floors connect, those rooms connect. So we should have seen every room. We have the compact disc. We definitely went in that room. We're good. We're good. Let's leave. Excellent indeed, Wario. Thank you very much. I did great. Thank you for the reassurance, Wario. Wario's such a nice fellow. Always, he's so reassuring. Such a nice boar. Such a nice boar, that Wario. I always feel so bad because it's definitely pronounced Wario. With he says Wa, but I always say Wario because my pronunciation is lazy. Hell, I pronounce my own name incorrectly technically because my full name is Zachary. I go by Zach, and that's not what I'm saying. But I always just say Zachary, not Zachary, which would be the correct way to say my own name. So I mispronounce my own name. So Wario will give me some slack. He's an understanding fellow, He's known for his boundless compassion. The only thing that rivals the boundlessness of his compassion is the girth of his muscles. So strong, so girthy, so kitty. Hello, meow. Welcome to the item shop. The boss, Catbat, obviously weak to the black dog. It just makes sense. In fact, that's something I haven't talked about. A lot of the weaknesses make sense. Catbat, weak to dog. Aerodent. You kiss it. That one actually didn't make sense. I didn't mean to say Aerodent. I meant to say Cuckoo Condor. It's a clock. You punch a clock and bad things happen. Cactus. Dragons breathe fire. Plants hate fire, especially cactuses. Yeah, sure. I don't know what that sound was. It was kind of like a bubbly noise. Thank you once again, item shopkeeper. I appreciate the service. Sorry I haven't purchased anything from you, but we're hardcore and we're going to do this itemless. We will go over the items though, I promise. It is time for Catbat. And Catbat's design bothers me a little bit. It's very similar to Cuckoo Condor, in which there's a thing on top of its head and hey, weak point. But the thing that bothers me about its weak point isn't that design thing. I'm actually going to get hit by that purple thing to show you that that those turn you into Puffy Wario, because I didn't... Uh-oh, my controller is freaking out. Hopefully it is done freaking out, because that was really weird. The thing that bothers me about Catbat's design is it has that little ghostly wisp and a cat tail, which... Oh, I've actually never gotten hit by one of those. Oh my god, my controller is definitely freaking out. Oh my god, my B button isn't working. This is bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the hit from the submarine. The submarine, by the way, I don't think you can kill, which might... Oh my... This is gonna be a fun fight now, because Catbat, honestly, probably the easy... Okay, well, Spoiled Rotten exists. Catbat is the easiest main boss of the game, not counting, Spoiled Rotten, obviously, just because, Spoiled Rotten's a tutorial. But now my controller is not working with me. I don't know if it's... I don't think it's dying. I just charged it before this recording session, so it should be good. Whenever you hit Catbat, and there's not... whenever you hit Catbat and it's not weakness, it will spit out one of those puffy boys. Once we get low enough, it should start shooting out a different color one that will hurt us instead of, turning into Puffy Wario. And, oh my god, my controller is so bad! I was just tapping the controller so Wario would turn around. Why is it doing this? Oh my god, Bluetooth. I'm gonna point it more at my computer and hope for the best, because I shouldn't panic, because Catbat is a very easy boss. After you hit it enough, the bat on top of its head goes away, and it's now just a cat. And you can just have to start ground pounding it instead of punching it in its face. I don't know if there's any tricks to this, like there is practice in which you can infinitely injure it. And unfortunately, it got the better of me by kind of pushing me to the back of the room. That's kind of what it's going to try and do, kind of make you run out of room and have to take a hit and waste your time. But unfortunately, the combination of me panicking a little bit because my controller isn't working and my controller not working, we've been put in kind of a sticky wicket, as it were. I mean, we only have to hit the boss 3 more times, so we should be good. Once again, I do not believe you can destroy that submarine at the bottom. I could go ahead and spend the time to try, since we have like a minute left, but I'm just going to go ahead and finish the fight before we run out of time and start losing treasure chests, and I have to refight Catbat, because that'd be kind of embarrassing, because Catbat's a very simple boss, and I'm doing a bad job now. Oop, he's kind of bodied me. This is the most difficulty I've ever had with this boss. To be fair, my controller is really, really freaking out. Catbat's theming is also weird, too. Oh my god, I just messed that one up. That was not my controller. This is just going bad. Okay, let's chill. Let's chill, boys. We'll ground pound him. We only have to hit him one more time. We can do that in 20 seconds, as long as he gives me something to jump on. Oops, I messed that one up. There we go. Everything's good. Everything's good. So the theming on this boss is a little bit weird because, you know, Catbat, spooky cats, bats. I get it. But then there's water in this level, and there's that weird, like, mechanical submarine. I guess just to complete the weirdness of the Sapphire Passage in its theming. Man, I can't believe I had a hard time with Catbat. To be fair, I guess it was the controller's fault. I wonder... I have my water in the... No, I was about to say, like, is my water in the way of the... But that's an insane dumb thought. I don't know. So something made that hard. Maybe my phone being in the way? My phone was in between my controller and the thing, but that's not what's important. My phone and the controller problems aren't what's important. What's important is we have cleared all 4 of the main passages, and we get access to the final passage, which actually isn't a passage, it's the Golden Pyramid. I thought this was the Golden Passage, but it is in fact the Golden Pyramid, I guess. Whoops, my bad. A lot of bads on my part near the end, but that's fine. It's fine. It's good. I'm gonna make Wario face the camera. Oh, I guess he'll actually move straight to the entry passage. Hey, I messed up a little bit there, but that's fine. We still beat Catbat with 15 seconds left, which isn't gonna cut it in the future, but we're done with this episode. On the next episode, we're going to go into the Golden Pyramid and see what the last pyramid, not passage, has to offer for us. I'll see you guys then.